Welcome back, Seeing This Field sports fans. We are here with our third episode. We have a new member to the podcast. His name's Dante. Wearing the Cowboys jersey, big Cowboys fan. Good friend of all of us. And yeah, so this was a really big week for football this week. We had the divisional championship rounds of the NFC and the AFC. The first game that was on was the Buccaneers versus Packers. I'm very happy with it. I have the Buccaneers versus Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. So far, my bracket is perfect. And I'm a Bucs fan as well. Right now, let's clarify that. They all get mad at me because I'm a Pats fan, but Tom Brady and Gronk moved. So right now, I'm a Bucs fan. I have the Patriots jersey underneath. But I'm very happy with the game. I think the first half for the Bucs was really good. Second half, not so good. The Packers, I think they played pretty good, but they didn't. Their first half wasn't good enough to win.
Was on Aaron Rodgers. He didn't capitalize Tom Brady's 3 interceptions.
And the refs, refs wanted to help him out.
More points.
Yeah, it was like the stat, like the 3 interceptions, the Packers only pulled off 6 points, where the fumble and the 2 interceptions the Bucs got, they got 14 or 17 points. So I don't know. I think if Aaron Rodgers could have done better than that in the first half, or in the second half, because that's when the interceptions happened, then they could have won. And then, yeah, like Matthew said, or Chun, the refs and the penalties, that there's 2 really big penalties. The one missed call on Lazard, we talked about it when the game was over on Sunday. And then the penalty on Tyler Johnson. I think you have to call the penalty on Tyler Johnson. There's this one view where he literally has both hands on the jersey. Tyler Johnson kind of sold it with the dive. Where, you got to do what you got to do to win the game. So I think you have to. And then you have to call the penalty in this situation because there's been so many years in the playoffs where the penalty's not called, and then you feel like you lost the penalty. And I'm looking at the game above the Browns versus Chiefs. That penalty could, if on Swanson, if they call that, Browns maybe win that game. And even the years before with the Cowboys versus the Lions when the Lions lost, and then Cowboys versus the Packers when the Packers lost. Sorry, Dante. And then a little bit more recent when the Saints versus the Rams, I think 2 years ago. So I think you gotta call the flag, because losing a game when you call the flag's a little bit more stomachable. But when you don't call the flag and you end up losing the game, it's hey, refs, come on, that was a clear penalty. So I think refs are a little bit more have more of a tendency to throw it.
They have to call it there. There's a clear picture of them tugging the jersey.
It's the worst when they say no penalty, and then after the game they're like, oh yeah, that actually was a penalty, we just didn't call it.
Yeah, when they called to New York or in the head office, they're I would have called the penalty there, but the refs didn't. It's you there's no way, so you're not talking to someone who actually saw the play? Yeah, that makes me angry as well. But yeah, it was a good game. Oh, sorry, Taurus.
I didn't really watch that game because the Leafs were playing at that time. I watched the beginning.
Yeah.
I saw a report saying the Bucks and the game, the refs let a lot of things go until the last 2 minutes. Was that call in the last 2 minutes?
Yeah. So basically what happened, so the Packers chose not to go for that. We'll talk about that in a few seconds. But what happened is it was third down. So the Packers had them on third down. They need to stop to get the ball back to try and win. They were down by 5 at this point of the game. And Fournette made 2 runs. They didn't do anything. The Packers defense just loaded the box. Then on third down, I think they need 7 or 8 yards. And it was just to in route to Tyler Johnson. And then Kevin King, who got destroyed. Let me talk about that quickly. Mike Evans got a touchdown on him. Scotty Miller got the touchdown on him late in the half. And then
MVP.
Kevin King was MVP for the Bucks. And then Fournette literally sat on him. Fournette sat on him going into the end zone. He had a rough day. He had a rough day.
Yeah, he better not play the team ever again.
But yeah, Taurus.
I don't think he got to get a strong contract, man.
He just grabbed the jersey of Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson sold, and it was the first down. And that first down basically sealed the game. Because then I think the Packers only had one more timeout. And then so they had to either hope the Bucks would incomplete a pass or something would happen their way. But they couldn't do it. But yeah, I was talking about. Oh, sorry.
When I was flipping between the games, whenever I turned it on, Brady would always do something wow, it's Tom Brady once again, doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
He's going to his 10th Super Bowl now. That's crazy.
Yeah. There's third down conversions that they had to get, and Brady had the perfect play on each of them. But yeah.
That pass to Gronk he made was really nice.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying before, the Packers chose not to go for it on 4th and 8. I think that was a big mistake.
Yeah,
I think it was
they
stupid.
they had to stop a first down either way. So
Bro, no matter what, they had to get a touchdown.
Yeah, they had to get a touchdown and 2 point. Like, you might as well have just went for it there. And like Dante said, you had to get a stop either way. So
Yeah,
if you
you
get
had to
it
stop a
there,
first down.
if you get it there and you stop them, then you're at least tied, and then you're going into OT. And if you win, I think when you have those two good quarterbacks, whoever wins the toss in OT is gonna win.
Now
And
we're
then-
gonna have to live with the question of what if they went.
Or what
Now
if
let's
Aaron
live that
Rodgers actually
forever.
ran? Or what if Aaron Rodgers actually ran the ball? For once.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't have scored there though. There was a couple linebackers.
Nah, I
on him.
doubt he
wouldn't
would've, but
he
he
wouldn't
would've
But at least you'd have look closer. And then you have to think about it. Like the MVP of the league this year, like most likely, you don't even give him a chance. Like they didn't give him a chance to at least throw it. And then not only do you have the MVP of the league most likely, but you also have Devontae Adams, who is the best receiver. If it's a one-on-one ball, like that's a touchdown.
You got shut down pretty well, eh?
Yeah,
Adams.
I found, and this is what me and you were talking about. The Packers messed up so bad by not drafting another offensive weapon, because all the teams would do is double team, and then just hope. And then Lazard, he's not a bad player, but he's not like a number one or true number two.
Cole.
What?
What did Jordan Love do this game?
Oh, I know, bro. If I was Aaron Rodgers, which we're talking about a little bit after we talk about these games, I'm leaving. I'm so mad. You have the best receiver in the league, and then you have
No.
I'm leaving.
No, you
We'll talk about it later. But I don't know. Like you need that number two.
He just had MVP season. Why would he leave?
We'll talk about that later. But you have Devontae Adams, who wins every single time one-on-one. He had
And they
that.
won't trade him.
Yeah, they shouldn't. But Devontae Adams gets that slant one-on-one touchdown. But then all you do is you just double team Devontae, and you have to have guys like Aaron Jones who fumbled twice. One of them actually got recovered, and then Kevin Lazard what's Lazard's for
Allen.
Alan Lazard?
Yeah, Alan Lazard.
Alan Lazard who got held but didn't make enough to stop the interception that that Bunting got. Yeah, he didn't. And then Marquez Van Scantling had that one touchdown, but when I watch, all of his routes are deep. Like he's their
He's
deep
just a good
threat.
deep threat.
Yeah, like they don't have a true number two.
Yeah. But if Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the league, they just need to get that second receiver.
Yeah, and I think they could have got that this year if they didn't take Jordan Love.
Yeah, like the Cowboys, Dante, like receivers, right? Amari Cooper.
Cowboys have great receivers. They do.
Second best
Amari
receiver
Cooper
core
is
in the league.
inconsistent.
Second best receiving core in the league.
Amari Cooper's kind of falling off.
Inconsistent. Who's throwing to him?
I mean, Eddie Dalton.
Ben DiNucci. Ben DiNucci. All right, so yeah, Buccaneers Packers. I was happy with the game. I think it like there's calls that could have been called like we said, but like I feel like they called it pretty evenly all the way until a 2-minute warning when you have to throw the flag. I'm happy the Buccaneers had to fight through adversity with Tom Brady throwing 3 interceptions. I think they've like gone such a hot streak. They've won 3 away games in a row. I think they're ready for the Super Bowl, might win. But the next game was Chiefs versus Bills in the AFC. I'm a little sad. I know Taurus is definitely sad. We were rooting for the Bills. Chiefs ended up winning. It happened. I said this, I think, last podcast. If Bills get to a hot start, they could win. They ended up it was 9-0 within the first quarter. Bills were off to a hot start, but then Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs just come back. Like, you can't stop it.
Wait, you said Patrick Mahomes, or do you meant Jackson Mahomes?
Not the TikToker, the football player.
I think he might have just distracted him. Like, I'm being
I
honest.
just distracted the Bills.
Yeah, you never know. Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
that's possible.
I'm happy that Mahomes won because I want to see him versus Brady in the Super Bowl. I think if Mahomes beats him, then it'll be easy for him to be crowned the GOAT later on.
Yeah, like obviously that's like a big matchup, Mahomes and Brady now. Like the young like little goat with the goat, playing against each other. And
Junior.
I just don't think it was like one of Josh Allen's big games. Like he needed to have a big game there, especially against Mahomes.
Yeah.
He was
But
okay this playoffs.
he just
It was
didn't
Him
like
and
Purdue.
Stephon should have connected more in the beginning of the game, I thought.
Yeah, they should have like they took over games this year and like won Bills some of the games. Just like their chemistry like worked so well. But I don't think like Josh Allen needed to step up and like have that big game to get them into the Super Bowl. But I just don't think he had it last game.
Yeah, in the beginning,
Well, it was a good run.
Like the beginning looked like
Yeah,
when
for sure.
Hardman got the The fumble.
Yeah, the fumble and the punt.
Yeah.
And then he ended up coming
Yeah,
back
he
with
went
the
off,
big
and he
plays.
went
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a touchdown maybe.
Yeah. I know. I think it was a good game. I think this is the rivalry in the AFC for like the next few years to come. You got two young quarterbacks with two solid teams. The only thing with the Chiefs, I don't know. I still don't know how they're gonna pay everybody. They put Mahomes for a 10-year deal. They got Chris Jones. I think they got Kelsey, or they're gonna get Kelsey. But I don't know how they're gonna keep. Sorry.
No, it's fine. You go.
I don't know how they're going to keep Tyreek Hill. If McCole Hardman becomes a star, then he's going to have to get paid. You still got Tyrann Mathieu who needs to be paid. Swanson always makes plays. I don't know if it's a scheme or if he's just that great of a player, but I don't know how they're going to get paid. Then, like we said with the Bills, Josh Allen didn't have a crazy superstar game in the playoffs like he was in the regular season. Diggs didn't have the best game. I think the Bills need a running back. They need a physical running back to change up their game.
Singletary's not big enough. He's not big enough.
It's
What is he, like 5'7" or something?
yeah, it's not even that he's a bad running back. He just doesn't like work with that offense because Josh Allen's
Zach Moss.
Josh Allen's the main runner on that offense. They need to get a big back so they can run their play action. Give Josh Allen a little bit of a break because he runs the entire offense. He's the running back and the quarterback, and that just doesn't work for your quarterback long term. So I think it was good for the Bills getting there, showing some hope to the Bills fans, like they haven't been there in so long.
I don't think anyone was expecting Josh Allen to take them that far anyway, so I think that's it.
Yeah, and that's a good exactly. Like the Bills, like this was a huge breakout season for Allen, like some hope for the Bills. But the Chiefs are the better team, like they got Mahomes, like it's hard to beat them.
Torres, you just need to Taysom Hill, Torres, then you're good. That's even the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You just need to Taysom Hill.
Like you guys said, Josh Allen, like he went from having like a rookie year, like not so accurate, to being like one of the most accurate QBs.
Yeah.
And he just had like a really good season.
He had okay playoffs.
But
well, you got to give credit to that coaching staff.
He's still young.
Yeah,
so, like,
for sure.
There's still lots of time. Next year they're gonna come back better, especially after seeing that Diggs, like just watching their celebration, like taking it personally.
Yeah,
like
in the Chiefs end zone. Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah, I think the Bills also need either a running back or another receiving weapon for Allen because they just having Diggs just wasn't enough that game.
Yeah. Like if a defense knows how to play them, like it's
they
need to find
you just have to
else.
stop one guy. You just got to stop Diggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what? Like we said, like we're happy they got there. No one was really expecting it, but Chiefs were the better team. And so this moves us into our Super Bowl matchup. The Bucks versus the Chiefs.
Probably the best matchup.
I think this is the best matchup of the year. I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping the Bucks win. But like Christian said, you have the GOAT who has been here 7 times, or who could have 7 rings and who's been here 10 times, versus Patrick Mahomes, who's both years as he's been a starter. I'm pretty sure he's been here back to back now. So
I'm excited to see that defensive line matchup with Ndamukong Suh, Jason Pierre-Paul, and those boys.
Yeah, and they have Vita Vea back. The Bucks did lose a safety, Whitehead, last game on the hit with Aaron Jones. I'm and that's why I'm kind of happy it's a 2-week break, because you're gonna get Antoine Winfield back and Whitehead, who are the starters, and then hopefully AB comes back because we need more, like another offensive weapons can just help us more.
Yeah, I think I was watching like Sportsnet a couple days ago, and I'm pretty sure they said they cleared Antonio Brown to play.
Yeah, I hope so.
That'll be good for them. Yeah.
And then, it's been nice seeing Leonard Fournette be able to run the ball even when their O-line's not playing that good, like...
Or Ronald Jones.
Yeah, or Ronald Jones. Like, against the Saints, they both had 80-yard games. Fournette looked a little bit better of the receiving back. Then this past week, Fournette had a good touchdown. He had like a 20-yard run where he had to bounce it to the outside when the blocking in the inside broke down. So I'm happy there's a little bit of a run game, and our pass game it's just... We have good receivers, Tom Brady. But then you have the Chiefs, Super Bowl champs. Their defense has been really good. Everyone questioned their defense last Super Bowl, but their defense has been really good this season. You got Patrick Mahomes. Exactly. Like, Patrick Mahomes is your best offense and your best defense. Like, he can keep the ball. He can keep putting up points. You have 2 super fast receivers. You have the best tight end in the league, in my opinion, right now. Probably one of the best, like, just pass catchers in the league. Yeah, I think he even led the league in receiving yards or something. Then they have a good They have a good backfield with Damian Williams. He had a good game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a good receiving back out of the backfield. And then, like I said, their defense is solid. So I think this is a really good matchup.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a really good matchup.
Brady can't throw 3 interceptions again. That's all you can.
Who do you guys got winning this game?
I want the Bucks to win.
I'm taking the Chiefs in this one.
I think the Bucks.
I want the Bucks.
I think the Bucks. You can't bet against Brady.
It's in Tampa too. It'll be kind of sick to see Tampa.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. Like the first time the Super Bowl is hosted, like the Super Bowl or the team though, like the home team's actually playing in it, which is crazy. Like if the Bucks can do that, and like there's like people are saying like Tom Brady, like he goes from like a team that doesn't even make the playoffs to like making them to the Super Bowl. Like people are saying he's the best dynasty, not even the Patriots or the Steelers, because like if he has 7, he'll be the first player with 7, and no other like franchise will even have 7, which is crazy.
I mean, it's not like hard to like win if you have Mike Evans, Godwin, Antonio Brown, and Gronk. But,
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Jameis Winston couldn't do it. Jameis Winston couldn't get into the playoffs.
He didn't have Antonio Brown or Gronk.
Antonio Brown didn't play for half the season. He's been gone for the playoffs. Had like 2 catches against the Saints.
Actually, didn't he play against the Washington football team?
He played against Washington. Had a good game. Definitely a touchdown.
The playoffs. So he did play the playoffs.
Holy crap!
I think it's good to see Tom
whatever.
Brady go in there and change the culture.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he brought a little bit of the Patriot way to the Bucks. I think the Bucks
I also
need
think
it.
he coaches the team now. I don't think Bruce Adrian's.
Yes, I agree. I think at the start, but you know, I can respect that. I can respect an older coach saying, "I know you know so much about football. You're the best. Take control of this offense. Take control of the team." And it's been working. The first half of the season, the Bucks were really like inconsistent. I think that Arians was running the offense, and then the fourth quarter, if they were down, then Brady would have to run it because then you got to do hurry up 2-minute drill type of thing. And then I think they won 7 in a row. They won their last 3 games of the regular season, 2 against Atlanta, 1 against Detroit, and I think they won their last 4 because they won against the Vikings too. Then they did 3 road away games, like I said, Washington, Saints, Packers. They're really hot right now. Of course, I'm gonna have the Bucks. Like I'm the biggest Buck fan. I'm the biggest Brady fan. I'm the biggest Brady fan. I'm the biggest Brady fan.
Yeah, biggest Bucks fan. Yeah.
But I'm happy. But it's gonna be hard to beat the Chiefs. Like they're a really good team as well.
Yeah,
I
like
just
it's
don't see
Tom
those
Brady in the Super Bowl. Like I just feel like Brady's just gonna like push that extra hard, like you guys said. Like it's in Tampa. He's just gonna push that like extra little bit just to win in Tampa.
Yeah.
Like the home game. And then, but like you guys said, like with the punt returner who like fumbled it,
Mecole Hardman.
I saw a video of Mahomes. He like went up to him and was like encouraged him. Oh, you're gonna have a big
Yeah.
play. Don't worry about it. Keep your head up.
Yeah,
And, like,
Kelsey.
Yeah, that's just like improves like the morale of your team, and like it's just like nice to play for someone like that.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
like you guys also said, like Brady going into Tampa, like it changes the culture of the whole team. Like the whole team is like that. The plays are different. Everything's different. Brady brings that like championship winner in. Like he's just like a completely like different team. He changed that team completely. But it's Tom Brady in the Super
Yeah,
Bowl. I think I got Bucks.
I just don't see the Bucks stopping that offense in Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
I don't know.
The Chiefs are gonna win.
Like Christian said, it's hard to bet against Brady. I mean, like they won that the game against the Packers, who had the best offense in the league, and he still threw 3 interceptions. I think he just finds a way to win. And if there is any defense to stop the Chiefs in this playoffs, it is the Bucks. I think they've been by far the best. So I think this is going to be a good matchup. I think last time when they played this season, I think the Chiefs won by like 8 or 9. I'm not for sure, but it's a close game.
Sure.
Yeah.
It'll be close. Yeah.
It'll be close.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I got the Bucks. Dante said he has the Chiefs. Chun and Torres have the Bucks. I am cheering for the Bucks, of course. I want to live with breaking a record. The home team in the Super Bowl, home field. I think that'd be crazy.
Yeah, Cole, the Bucks lost by 3 to the Chiefs.
Yeah, like, and that was when Arians was still running the offense, and Tyreek Hill got like 60 fantasy points that one game. So we can come back. We got it.
Okay.
All right, so to the next thing, still football related, we got Matthew Stafford. You know, I got my Lions, my Calvin Johnson jersey on, and he has officially not been released, but they have split a ways. That he's still a Lions, but they have split.
He wants out.
And I'm pretty sure the Lions, I think, accepted it. I saw this like thing.
Yeah.
And so where do you guys think he's gonna go?
I think he's the best spot for him to go would be the Colts.
I think he's going to the 49ers.
Yeah.
They have such a good O-line. It's something he has to
Yeah,
try.
with the Colts.
I
Yeah.
saw a report that the Niners have like an inside trade for him.
Yeah, I saw that. Like
Right now,
the Niners have the edge on him or
Niners
something.
Niners kind of need a good QB because Jimmy G's not that good. So
Deshaun.
yeah,
I think you give Jimmy G another like opportunity because like the year before he brought them to the Super Bowl, and then he was like injured for all this season. So I don't know. I just feel like give him like one more
That's the
chance.
thing.
I don't know. I kind of agree with Dante. I think you get rid of Jimmy. Yeah. I think you get rid of Jimmy G.
You have to find someone.
But to get Deshaun Watson, the 49ers are a young team, so what they're going to have to give up to get Deshaun Watson, I think is going to be so much. So if you get like...
How about they get Dak? How about they get Dak?
Why would you want Dak leaving?
No one wants that.
And Dak's asking for...
I'm just saying, like they could get Dak.
Yeah, there are a lot of options. I think there's like 4 quarterbacks right now that are like... Because Matt Ryan's a free agent, I'm pretty sure, after the season as well.
Free agent. Jameis Winston's a free agent.
Jameis Winston is probably going to stay at the Saints. But yeah, I think that Stafford's going to go to a team that's ready to win now. Obviously, he wants to win. I personally think that he is a really good quarterback. Like, I have family who lives in Detroit, so like I've watched their games and stuff. I think he's good. I just don't think he's ever had the talent around him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I think
it's like he
even
plays
it'll
with
be smart for
Detroit.
Detroit too. It'll be
Yeah.
smart for Detroit.
They need to rebuild.
They can draft Justin Fields to this draft.
Yeah, they can get a quarterback because
They can
there's
get
multiple good
draft,
quarterbacks in this draft. So yeah, I think, and then even another team. So we said Indianapolis 49ers. Chicago needs a quarterback. They have a really good defense. They have Allen Robinson, who's a top receiver. It's just he never proves it because I think
He's
he
probably
is.
gonna leave, though. He's probably gonna leave.
But if he gets Matt Stafford, are you gonna leave?
Cole.
Yeah, if
Cole,
Trubisky stays.
how about this?
Yeah.
Cole, how about Stafford goes to the Pats?
I would love to see that, but I think they need a draft.
They get Hunter Henry.
That would be amazing. I'd be very
So
happy.
good.
I'd be happy.
You get Edelman and Allen Robinson, your 2 receivers.
Yeah, I'd be happy.
Get the tight end.
I'd be happy. I'd be happy. So yeah, I think he probably is gonna go to the 49ers. I think they're gonna want a little bit of an older quarterback. Just because they have so many young guys. And then the thing with their offense is I think they need to get a true number 1 though as well, because I feel like Debo's a good receiver, but maybe it's just the offense they're running where he doesn't act as a number 1, but I feel like Debo and Brandon Ayuk do more jet sweeps than they actually do catch the ball or on like post routes and stuff. And then of course they have a crazy run game, but with Matt Stafford you could have a guy who's going to make game winning throws, where Jimmy Garoppolo is a game manager. Matt Stafford is a winner. He can win games. He has a crazy good arm, and yeah.
And you can rely on him to play too. He'll always show up. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah, like exactly. He doesn't get injured.
Yeah. When you give him the weapons, I think he'll do good.
Yeah.
Good coaching staff.
Yeah, I agree. So not only is Matt Stafford up in the free agency or going to get traded, but so is Deshaun Watson. I'm pretty sure Deshaun Watson has requested to leave, but we still don't know yet. He's still currently a part of the Texans. We know he wants to leave, but we don't know if the Houston Texans have said he's actually going to leave. I think the hard part with Watson is that he's having such good seasons, and he's still like technically considered part of the team and not a free agent. What you're gonna have to give up for him is gonna literally be like your chance at winning the Super Bowl. If the 49ers have
the Jets.
But okay, why would he go to the Jets? Why is he going to go to the Jets when they're just as bad as the
I
Texans?
heard he really wants to go to the Jets.
That was his hometown team. That's who he liked when he was growing up, didn't he?
That's stupid. I think that's stupid.
Or the Dolphins could.
I think the Niners or the Colts are probably the best teams. Or Miami too.
Yeah, I think yeah, go
like
Torres.
Cole said, like for the Niners to get him, I feel like they have to give up someone like
Nick
significant
Bosa,
on the roster. Yeah, like I was
defensive
gonna say,
player,
like,
defensive rookie of the year.
they're gonna want Bosa back for like, because they're giving up a quality player for another quality player. Like, that's just what's got to happen. Like,
I mean,
but you don't want to give up Bosa because he's like so good.
Yeah,
But,
the rookie defensive player of the
The
year.
Texans are going to be forced.
You're getting a top 5 QB. Like.
I don't know. Maybe they'll do something stupid. I know Bill O'Brien's not there, but David Johnson for DeAndre Hopkins. Maybe they'll make another stupid trade. Hopefully they do. I think I want to see Deshaun Watson. I think I had him in fantasy this year. He was really good last year. He was really good this year with really not even a number 1 receiver. David Johnson and Duke Johnson. But Will Fuller's always injured, and he wants out as well. He's a free agent. But David Johnson, who they got from Arizona, and Duke Johnson, their other running back, were both injured, so he didn't really have a running back. There was top receivers, Brandon Cooks. He was on and off. When Will Fuller was there, he had that one really good game against the Lions. Then he tested positive for something. Yeah, steroid or like something. I don't know. I'm not gonna say too much. And then his receivers weren't that good. His best receiver is Kiki Coutier. I don't even know what that is, like, really.
Yeah.
But I think he needs to get out of there. I just think they were trying to go through a rebuild, getting rid of D-Hop and stuff, but then you can't keep a player like Deshaun Watson. Like, hey, if Deshaun Watson stays in Houston, he's going to become Matt Stafford. He's always going to be a good quarterback. Everyone's going to like him in the league, but if you're not winning, then you're not really going to become one of the best quarterbacks.
we went to the Jets, and like the Jets were like equally as big.
Yeah, but the thing about the Jets is like their market's so like crazy. Like playing football in New York is like would be awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they have a top pick this year too, but they'll probably just trade that pick for Deshaun.
Yeah, or any,
What pick
but
do they have?
they have
Two?
the second.
Yeah, second.
I think
Okay,
Jacksonville has the first. Yeah, they could trade it and then like maybe the Texans get Justin Field or something.
Or you might go to the Dolphins, and they could try trade 2 or something.
Yeah, I don't know if I would
think
trade
they're gonna
Tua.
give up Tua.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
still
like,
early.
if I was getting Deshaun Watson, like
I don't know. I
They'd
think
have to give up more than that.
Yeah.
I would give up Tua. I would give up Tua if I were them.
if I was getting Deshaun Watson, like,
Yeah, but you have to add more in it too. Like you can't
Yeah,
just do
yeah,
one
of
for
course.
one. So they're gonna have to give up a bunch.
I mean, the
They
Dolphins
should
were
work
good
on a
this year.
trade with a bunch of different teams. They should work
Don't
on a
they
trade
have
between all
third
4
pick
teams.
too? They have third pick too, right?
yeah, they have like definitely top 5. They could even honestly just get a receiver and hope he stays, and then hope something crazy happens.
Devontae
Mhm.
Smith.
Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase is in the draft, Eric Waddle's in the draft. 3 really high receivers.
Mhm.
And then there's
They
always
could honestly draft a QB too,
I
and
think
then
Eric
trade
Waddle's gonna
Tua.
fall to Philly. I think Philly's gonna get him.
Waddle's gonna fall just because he's injured and he's not the biggest guy, but he's crazy fast. I think Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith, they're
I think Philly will get him.
yeah. Jamar
Cowboys-
Chase was the
the Cowboys
Blinkenkoff
should.
winner. Pardon?
I think the Jets will take Smith.
I don't know if you take a
I
receiver
think the
that
Jets
high.
will take Smith instead of Penny Sewell. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I think they need O line to protect Arnold.
And it'll fall to the Bengals.
Who?
Wait,
Yeah, I guess.
Smith?
But if you give him that receiver and then they gel together, like,
Yeah, but if you don't give him like time to even throw the ball, then you're screwed anyway. Cause Mekhi Becton was amazing
yeah,
pick.
I guess.
Mekhi Becton was awesome. He's really good at Louisville this year, like the
Smith
big
is the one who
6'8".
won the Heisman, right?
Yeah, he won Heisman this year.
And wasn't that like the first time in like
In a while
I
that
know
a
in
receiver
while
won.
that a receiver won? So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you want
he was
to
good.
like if he's on your team, like you know he's gonna be good.
Yeah,
It's the
but
first time in a while.
yeah. And then
Like, who were the candidates for the Heisman?
so Mac Jones, which is a quarterback for Alabama, so who is throwing the ball for Devontae Smith? Then I'm pretty sure Kyle Trask was up there. And then I think those were there's probably some more guys, but I know Devontae Smith and Mac Jones were the 2 big ones.
Yeah. So like it could fall on the QB, but you have that wide receiver who's won it. Like he won the Heisman, and I just feel like him on your team would just make your team better.
Yeah, he's definitely a game changer for sure.
Like if you already have a good QB, you add him. Like
Yeah.
they're just gonna be like
And that's
the
something to
1-2.
get the fans excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think Darnold is a good quarterback. I just think he's been really unlucky with the team he's on.
Yeah.
There, like
This
he
is the
makes
best
crazy
situation.
plays. He makes such
Yeah.
good plays like that people don't really
Yeah,
watch because
that's
he's
what's
just on a
really bad.
bad team. Yeah, and sorry, what?
With Sal as their new coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And they
they'll
had-
be really good like that.
and they won their past like 3 games. They beat the Browns, who were in the playoffs. They beat. There's another 2 teams they beat that were like still like decent teams. They almost beat the Raiders, who were in the playoffs. I don't know how you let Henry Ruggs get behind you in that situation. I remember watching that
It was
game.
rigged. It was rigged.
And I was like, the Jets are tanking for sure after I saw that play. So I
It
think,
was definitely rigged, man. Like, that was there's no way Henry Ruggs like just got allowed.
yeah, that's what I thought as well. I don't know. I think Jets would be I think it's like a good idea, but if Deshaun Watson wants to improve his career and make himself look like as a top quarterback, that's not the spot to
He
go.
needs to leave. Yeah, he needs to leave Houston.
All right, so not only is Deshaun Watson, but there have been rumors, not really big rumors, but Aaron Rodgers' future in the Green Bay. After they chose Jordan Jones, he gets him to the NFC Divisional Championship. Probably going to win MVP, but they didn't get him another offensive weapon. We were talking a little bit about this. Matt LaFleur doesn't let him go for it. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'd be really mad. And like I said a little bit earlier, they chose to choose Jordan Love over another offensive threat.
The disrespect, it was disrespectful.
I think that is disrespectful. I think Aaron Rodgers proved it to the Green Bay that I'm the best quarterback. I'm the starter. But you proved it, but you have nothing really more to show for it because you still only made to the NFC Divisional Championship. Yeah, again, this is his 5th time there, and he's been to the Super Bowl once or twice. I don't know. And he makes the playoffs every single year, and he can't ever get past this stage. It seems like.
Yeah, it's the worst for him.
And
he's such like a good QB.
yeah, and they finally had the defense this year
You
too.
don't want to just give that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, their defense, their O-line, everything was good, but it's just he needs another receiver, man.
Yeah, and then Aaron Jones
No, I don't
took
think
out of that
it's smart.
game.
I don't think it'd be smart for them to get rid of him. I don't think it'd be smart for either of them. I mean, he just had an MVP season.
No, I want to get rid of
before.
him. I'm just like,
I think you're putting too much blame on the team for not getting him a weapon. I mean, like, he should have done more, really. They had one of the best offenses historically, and they only put up...
yeah, they picked Jordan Love.
But they had one of the best offensive historically because of Rodgers. If he had another weapon, they would have had by far probably the best offense historically.
Well, I
It
mean,
was
I don't think so. I think that they have Aaron Jones, who's like a really good running back.
But-
like, the best
He's gone.
receiver
He's
in the league.
gone. He's definitely gone this year.
I don't know. I think Devontae did as much as he could, but when you get double teamed like that, or even triple teamed, because that's what I would have done, you need that other weapon. And you know what? In fairness to what Dante's saying, Lazard and Scantling did step up in the regular season, and they stood up, like they made plays in the playoffs. It's just against the Bucks, they couldn't make enough plays. Scantling made that one play. Lazard dropped a 2-point conversion. I know it got tipped, but you can't drop that. And I think
It's just a matter of plays. Like, he can come back next year and do it and try and get to the Super Bowl. Like, I think they still have the team.
But Dante, how many times is he gonna get to the NFC divisional or playoffs? Because he does
So whose
it.
fault
He,
is that?
but no, but he does. He does.
4 times.
I no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's Aaron Rodgers' fault. I'm saying if I were Aaron Rodgers, I'd want to leave.
I mean, what if it is Aaron Rodgers' fault though? He's kind of
Well,
like.
why would you want to leave, though? You just had an MVP season. Like,
Because I don't care about MVP at this point in my career. I'm old. I want to win a Super Bowl. I want to get
But
2
that's
Super
not-
Bowls.
Go to the 49ers.
He's gonna.
Made more plays. He
Rod,
ran. He should have passed
bro,
the ball.
Rodgers is gonna be one of the best quarterbacks ever with only 1 Super Bowl. Eli Manning has more Super Bowls than him. Flacco has more Super Bowls than him.
Exactly, but that's not because of Green Bay. He's on one of the best teams in the league. Like, you look at Tom Brady; he's able to go from team to team.
But,
like,
okay,
same
but-
success.
But do you think if they were to get another weapon, they would have done better? Like, what did Jordan Love do this year?
Exactly, I know that
He's a
it was a
bench.
dumb pick, but at some point in time, he was in the same position. I mean, do you think he was complaining when he got drafted? I mean,
Dante, I understand what you're saying, but
They-
but Dante, it's for the team in the future. It's not. It's almost like they didn't want to win now.
yeah, I get what he's saying. 'Cause, like, his future is now, right? Like, he only has
Yeah, exactly. He only has like four
Yeah, but-
4 more years max.
I don't know. I'll try again next
but,
year. Just see what happens
I
next
still
year.
don't think- I still don't think it'd be smart for him to leave. I don't know. I think it's appealing to play for like one team your whole career, and I think he wants that, just like Brett Favre.
Yeah, I understand. I understand both
I mean,
sides.
coming off the season.
Yeah, but I think it's like a good rumor. Like we said, LaFleur didn't give him the chance. They chose to get Jordan Love over a receiver. A receiver would have helped, though. We can agree, like a number
And it
2
was, like,
receiver would have
it was a
helped.
Receiver heavy draft. too.
LaFleur let
Yeah.
him call his own plays too. LaFleur let him call some of his own plays too.
No, I agree, but that 4th down one is the coach. Like Rogers probably was like, let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Like he
Yeah.
said, he'd make
Obviously,
this
yeah.
decision. Like he said in their
Yeah,
interview. Like, he was, like-
that's on the floor. Yeah, that's on the coaching staff.
but also he didn't run. Like he should have ran. Like he was. Like, there was no one open. He should have just ran that. Like the 3rd down.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like Cole said, like it's a win now for him because he's like getting old. But like they're such a good team. They're literally 1 win away from the Super Bowl. I say just run it back.
And try and win now.
yeah.
You gotta win now. And that's what the Patriots
Yeah,
did.
but
That
they were 1 win away. So like
Yep.
why not just like run it
Yeah,
back?
exactly, Torres. Yeah.
yeah, but I agree. You have to run it back. But then, as looking at the free agency receivers, Will Fuller's a free agent. Juju Smith's going to be a free agent. Chris Godwin's going to be a free agent. You have to get him one more. Allen Robinson. You have to get him one more weapon.
If they sign a bunch of like defensemen, I'm pretty sure.
Defensive
Like, they're top
players?
Guys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because Jared Alexander's I think's played 3 years in the NFL and he's a top corner, so he's gonna have to get paid.
Like, he's like top 5, so like he's gonna get paid a lot. Like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know. Sorry, Taurus.
Like you said, like if you add one more threat, like even if they don't need it, if you add it there with Rodgers and their other like threats,
It frees
they're just
Devontae.
gonna be an even better team.
Yeah.
Like they're a good team now. They're just gonna get even better if they add more.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I think like I don't think Aaron Rodgers is gonna leave, but I think it's something that maybe he's thinking about when he's mad because like it's like so like it just happened. Like he just lost. You know, he's
it's
supposed.
definitely in his mind. Like, it's definitely in his mind, but I feel like he should stay.
Yeah, I think when he thinks about it, he's not gonna leave. Yeah, Deshaun Watson, I do think is gonna leave. He doesn't want to be there. Stafford is leaving. We just don't know where he's gonna go.
And Cole, I saw this picture. They
Yeah.
had Aaron Rodgers with like the Patriots and behind. It's like this.
That'd be awesome.
If he goes to the Patriots,
That's the Brady
it's gonna
Belichick.
decide if
Yeah, I
like,
saw
Bill
that.
Belichick or Brady's the
Yeah.
goat.
Yeah. All right, so I have some questions here. So this is for this past week. So the last 2 games, or even you could say the past 4 games. Who was the biggest disappointment of the previous week? in the playoffs.
Like these four, like the 4 games.
Wait,
So like, but okay, yeah. So I'll say a little bit. So the Bills, the Chiefs, and then the Packers and the Bucks. Who was the biggest disappointing player that didn't step up in those games?
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like kind of agree with that. Like I said earlier, like Josh Allen didn't have that big game that he needed. So I feel like if he had a bigger game, they could have got like a chance to win. But like, yeah, that's my pick. Like Josh Allen, because I didn't really watch like the other game. I watched the Bills game, but
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, Aaron Jones was yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
The
top
fumble, yeah.
top running
And
top
yet-
running back, and then he just got like dusted
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah,
How
for
about this? How about
sorry, yeah,
Tom-
go.
How about Tom Brady?
You could say that. He honestly, you could.
Yeah,
He had an awful second half, but his second half wasn't very good. But it's hard to say he was a disappointment because he won, right? But for me, it'd be Allen as well. He didn't have one crazy game in the playoffs, which we were all hoping for. We talked about last episode. And then for me, is even Devontae. There was one play where he got the ball in the end zone, but he couldn't get his feet in bounds. Then they ran that route 3 times. The other route, you got held. But when you're the best receiver, you got to find a way to get the ball. And then the third time, he was pushed out of bounds before getting in. When you're the best receiver in your one-on-one, you have to win those matchups, and he only won the matchup one time for 1 touchdown.
I mean, it's not like he was like getting guarded by like the number 1 player. Like if he's like the best receiver, like you should always trying to find a way to get open.
Yeah.
Like I think Carlton Davis was like guarding him. He's just like he's okay.
Yeah,
He's not best.
the Bucks have a very solid team, and then their main like thing is their like defensive line, their linebackers, but their corners aren't good. They just have a good system.
They're pretty bad. Like,
Yeah, Todd Bowles is a good coach. All right,
I
so
know, like,
sorry, Taurus. Yeah.
if you give that matchup to someone like, oh, you're gonna be guarding like one of the best receivers in the league, it just gives like that mindset. Like if I stop him, like, oh, I could like the mindset of the defense just like rises.
Yeah,
To be better against.
and it
them.
gives you more confidence
So
as the
yeah,
game
it
goes
gives you
on.
more confidence. Like, oh, the coach is letting me match up against the best wide receiver. Oh, I better step up.
Yeah,
I
like
just step up
yeah.
against them.
could have stepped up. But yeah.
Kevin King was not very good.
Kevin King fired the exact same thing, and did that.
Yeah, I think the problem with that game, and I was talking to my dad about this, and I even talked to Matt about it. But the Bucks have like big, fast, physical receivers. Like Godwin's over 6 foot. Evans is definitely over 6 foot, and then you have Scotty Miller's a little fast guy. But then you also have Gronk and Brait. And the Packers, they were there's like a stat where they had played the most nickel defense, which means they have a lot of defensive backs in the in coverage, and some of their defensive backs like technically play linebacker. And for that game, they had to load the box so they wouldn't get beat by the run, and they want Tom Brady to beat them passing. But when you have big, fast receivers like that, you have to jam them. But like when they're fast as well, they're gonna beat you as well. So I think it was a really good matchup for the Bucks receivers, but Jair Alexander had a really good game still. Like he showed up.
They didn't throw to him. They didn't throw to like whoever he was guarding. They didn't like throw to him.
And then both times they threw to Mike Evans when Alexander was on him. The one interception wasn't Brady's fault, but the second interception was his fault. So
I just think it shows how many weapons they have. I mean, their offense is just loaded.
yeah.
Yeah, one guy's gonna be open all the time.
Yeah. So the next question is, who has been the best player for their team? So out of the 4 teams, you can do it. So like I said, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Packers, and the Bucks. Who has been the best player for the team? Who has helped their team win the most?
Out of the 4 teams that played last week.
Yeah, the 4 teams that played last week.
Ooh, Travis Kelce.
I'm going to say Travis Kelce. I mean, he's just been so reliable. He's been the best tight end for the past, what, like 3 years.
Best receiver even.
He's
Like
just
you could,
real-
yeah.
Yeah, receiver, yeah. I don't know. Not receiver.
Yeah, didn't he like?
Not receiver yet. You still think Devontae?
He beat like Kittle for like most receiving yards, right? This year?
Yeah, I think, and like I said earlier, I
Yeah,
think
he's
he had
been
most receiving
Yeah,
yards
Kelce
this
been
entire
injured
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelce's injured.
No, but wasn't it like season record?
Yeah, it was. It was.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
He beat his old season
Yeah,
record.
Yeah.
Him and Kittle are
Yeah.
the best. They're the best. They're the best one. Like the best.
Yeah,
Tight
and
ends.
like
Tight ends right now.
you could argue like with Kansas City, like you have Tyreek Hill, Mahomes, and Kelsey. Like those are just 3 dominant weapons in 3 different like totally different positions.
Yeah.
That can like burn you anytime. So like, yeah, I would agree with that too. But like the best player from those 4 teams, all season or just in playoffs?
For the playoffs, like who has been the best like addition or the best addition, but only or like who's been the MVP for their team in the playoffs?
James Winston.
And with the 4 teams that played this past week, Jin.
Oh, sorry. Kevin
I
King.
have no idea.
Kevin King for the Bucks, though.
Yeah, Kevin King for the Bucks. That's fair. He's the MVP for the Bucks.
I'll go. I said this same thing last week, but I think Fournette has been such a good addition for the Bucks. He's really got their running game going. He's catching balls. And basically what I said last week, the same type of thing. But like just Tom Brady having a running game they didn't really have in Tampa for like the first kind of part of the season, having in the playoffs so he can run play action and get deep to those like good receivers. I think that's huge. He's making plays out of nothing. Like that one touchdown he had, like the play like broke down. He had to get to the outside. That happened a few other times. And just like being able to get like first downs that they need, and they're like automatic with him almost. And like as the game goes on, the more carry he gets, like the better he gets. Like he's that type of running back. So I think for me, and like just watching the Bucks and like cheering for the Bucks and like them making it to the Super Bowl, I think he's been the best player for his team.
Yeah, I don't really have like a clear-cut player like you guys, but I'd have to like take Cole's advice for like Fournette, because like if you add a running game with Brady. I think I said this last week too, but if you add a running game with Brady, it just gives them like I said, pick your poison.
Yeah.
You either get the run game, or Brady's just gonna like throw it to someone.
Yeah, and that's what Green Bay had to do. They chose to stop the run, and then Brady in the first half at least beat them passing. All right, so my next question is, so this next season coming up, who is gonna win MVP next season, or who's gonna be the best player for this next season?
Michael Thomas.
You think he's gonna have a comeback year?
James Winston, MVP. Calling it. I'm being serious. Like people think that Dallas Cowboys are really good this year, right? And they're not. Like, Dallas Cowboys are god awful. So like they're not making it. Like the Saints are just go like undefeated. It's essentially gonna happen, you know.
No, I think it's gonna be Mahomes.
Yeah,
Or depending on where Deshaun Watson or Matt Stafford.
that's what I was gonna say. Depending on where those two quarterbacks go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mahomes, like, not that he had a bad season this year, but it wasn't up to the standards that we know him like as. Like we know him as. He had a good start, but then there's like a stat, and we talked about it, like we were talking about the same things. Just football's just it's coming to an end. But like he had like 16 throws that should have been interceptions, but they weren't. So that stat like didn't really matter his interceptions would have been out. Yeah.
That was really bad, but.
Yeah, but he's still like really young, so he has like and next year he's just gonna be even better.
Yeah.
So he takes that as a learning curve.
Yeah.
He takes that as a learning curve and like is better next year. So like Mahomes is a good shot, and it's like whoever, like you guys said, like whoever has like a breakout year, like Deshaun Watson, like if he goes to like a good team and has like a really good year, like and turns like a whole team around, I feel like it's whoever like can turn a team around, in my opinion, is like MVP. Like whoever's like you're on the field, oh watch out for this guy, he's like one of the best. He can turn this team like completely around.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what like my thing of like MVP is for this.
I think Aaron Rodgers could get it again too. You know, if it's the same team, like he could always win it again. Like,
yeah,
they'd have like the exact same.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, I think Christian McCaffrey's gonna have a really good season this upcoming season. Like he is by far the best running back when he was playing. So I think he's gonna have a comeback season. Probably gonna win comeback of the year. And then, like Dante said, wherever.
No, Michael Thomas.
No, I think McCaffrey. Yeah. I think just McCaffrey, like he puts up 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing. If he could do like
the injury that Dak had, will come back from that. Have a decent season. I think he'll get.
But I think McCaffrey's gonna have like one of the best seasons like we've ever seen. I think he did that his past year, or the year when he was playing. He slowed down a little bit towards the end, but if he would have kept that, so I have Christian McCaffrey. Then I don't think Deshaun is, but I think wherever Stafford go, he has something to prove if he goes to a top team. So like Dante was saying, and then also whoever the Patriots quarterback is going to be, like if they can sign a free agent, I think Bill Belichick wants to win. He needs to win to prove that he was the brains behind the operation for the Patriots for the past like 22 years. So whoever goes on the Patriots offense or runs quarterback, they still have Josh McDaniels. They got Matt Patricia back as assistant head coach. And I think the Patriots are going to have a bounce-back year.
And also, you can't sleep on Aaron Donald on the defensive side. I think if he has a good season, gets a lot of stacks, I think he'll be a good contender.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aaron Donald's like we said that in a couple.
He's
episodes
built
before, I
different.
think. Yeah, he's built different. He's such like a dynamic like defensive player. And Cole, I think we said that like last year about Cam Newton. Like, oh, he's gonna have a good year with Belichick.
Yeah, I really thought he
That didn't
was.
really turn out.
And but his first 4 games were amazing. Like against Seattle, he almost, and this is when Seattle was the best. He almost beat Seattle. He was doing really good. Then Eldman got injured. Their 3 best defensive players, Chung got injured. Hightower didn't want to play. Then I think they had 2 other players that opted out because of Corona, or Chung opted out because of Corona. Dante Hightower opted out because of Corona, and one other guy. But yeah, I'm hoping that the Patriots can get a quarterback and bounce back because the first 4 weeks were like really fun to watch as a Pats fan.
Yeah.
So those were my questions. So football, like, yeah, we have that done. But NHL still going. It's really like new right now. Just season like feels like it just started.
Yeah, we're like just in a week in, and like there's so many games every night. Like, I'm a really big hockey fan. So I just watch games like all night, especially yesterday. Leafs played in the later game.
Bruins, I see that. Sorry.
All these games before, just like watching them and going through the scores and everything. Like there were 13 games last night in the NHL, which is like a crazy amount.
Crazy, yeah.
Crazy.
So
Fantasy.
because they have to condense the games into like a normal season time with 56 games. Like they have to play like back to back every night.
Oh,
So there were
wow.
so many games yesterday, and like you said, Cole, Bruins won in overtime. It was a late second win. They scored with like 10 seconds left in overtime, I think. What games do you guys want to like?
Oilers blew a lead.
Oh yeah, Oilers blew a lead. They blew like what? They were up like 3-1 or something.
Yeah,
But
51.
I don't know if you saw Roche, but McDavid's goal with the net empty.
Yeah.
Did you see that? He like cut down the side, cut to the middle so quick, and just sniped it. Like it was such a nice
I saw
goal.
that on Owen's story.
Like and then you have the Avalanche winning 7-3, which is like a big score. They basically scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Cool. Football turned pretty cool.
Yeah.
Leafs,
And
I see
then-
they
Yo,
won.
boys, I gotta go, boys.
All right.
All right, thanks so much, Dante. Seen the Field Sports. We got our first guest, Dante. Like I said, big
Yeah,
Cowboys
thank you.
fan. He's going to be looking forward to seeing if they get Dak, what their offense can do with their 3 big receivers. Zeke, hopefully he's going to have a good season. Thank you.
Feed me.
Thank you so much for being our first guest, Dante. And hopefully
Thanks
we'll
for
have
having
you
me.
on again. Yeah, thanks so much.
Come back.
All right. See you,
Easy,
Dante.
buddy.
Thanks,
All right,
boys.
see you, Dante.
Yeah.
All right, now that the Cowboys fan is gone, let's talk about some hockey.
Cowboys 10 out of here. Gosh, I could not
All
stand it.
right. So the big game that I think like we want to talk about is the Leafs versus Flames. I know Chun watched that. I don't know,
It was a
Cole.
good game.
if you
Nah, I
saw
didn't
anything.
watch anything.
Cole is definitely streaming.
I probably was.
So the Leafs had like a really good start in the first period. The shots were like 10-1. They played so good. It was the best period I think I've watched like all season by the Leafs. Then the second period and third period they kind of slowed down, but they still put up like enough offense to like win.
Bad, like, the second period, like that was pretty.
Yeah, it was a complete opposite. Like they were so dominant in the first and second and third. It was kind of like the Flames like took over.
It's classic Leafs. Like that's literally what the Leafs do.
But the thing is, like, you say classic Leafs. Like I feel like they would have lost the lead and like absolutely lost the game.
Just threw
But
it.
they just kept battling back, and they ended up pulling out the win. Like, I feel like what Keefe did with adding like those 2 players to come in, it adds like a different like feel. Like, oh, you have those fresh legs. Let's put it in the game. Like I think they were saying yesterday during the game that you add like fresh legs in, it gives them like a feel like, oh, like, you know, in the back-to-backs you're normally like, oh, the other team's gonna come out like hitting, let's go, like they want to win because they just lost because Leafs just beat Calgary on Sunday. So you add those fresh legs in, they're hungry to win, they want to win, so they kind of give that energy to the bench. So that's why I feel like it was a good idea to put those 2 guys in. And what do you think, Jim?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think it was like they had to set Spezza because like I think he wanted a break, didn't he?
Yeah, he can't play every game because,
He's like getting old. Yeah. So like he wanted a break. So like putting the new guys in, like I was not really looking.
like I
forward.
said before, they have to. It's a condensed schedule.
Yeah, I wasn't really looking forward to that fourth line because like just looked pretty bad. But they kind of showed up. Like Engvall was looking pretty good. I mean,
McKay's looking really good now this year.
Wayne Simmons,
Yeah.
best Wayne, never play hockey's. Yeah.
Best Wayne in hockey history.
Yeah, he is. Like I couldn't think of anyone else.
And Cole, I don't know if you saw, but Sunday's game, Chuck landed on the Leafs goalie. Like at the end of the game, there were like 10 seconds left. Chuck's like battling in front, and he kind of like jumps on Jack Campbell, the Leafs goalie.
Yeah.
And the Leafs weren't really happy about that. So at the end of last night's game, Jake Muzzin.
The Leafs fought? The Leafs have some fight in them now?
Not really. Kind of like he kind of like edged to Chuck on.
All right,
So at the
that's
end of the
better.
game,
That's better.
Chuck like fell in the corner, and Muzzin like literally turned around and like flicked the puck at him. Chuck got angry. He was angry. He was like punching water bottles, kicking sticks, like everything.
Yeah, he threw like the bench door. Like, he threw it. Like
Mm-hmm.
he closed it. It was so funny, Cole.
Angry to Chuck.
Yeah,
like
like
him.
and
And his
him-
brother Brady Chuck's like that as well. Like he has like that anger within him.
not as much. He's a little more skilled, but to Chuck's like that, just like that guy who like goes into the rough areas, gets the
You
puck.
kind of want him like that, You kind of want someone to just get everyone
And
tense.
wasn't their dad like that as well? Like his dad was in the
He
NHL.
too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and June, I don't know if you noticed, but at the end of the last game, like the Sunday game, Tkachuk actually gave like Tavares like a hit, like a punch at the end of the game. So I think that's more like that's what they're more mad about rather than the Campbell thing, because it's like the Campbell thing, it happens like you're crashing in front of the net, you happen to fall on the goalie.
I mean,
Yeah.
he still
You
did it.
punch-
Like,
Yeah.
Well, the game.
Like,
But
I was pushed.
was the game like fully over though at that point, or like no?
Yeah, like the Tavares one.
No, the one with the Campbell. You
oh,
said,
it was.
Oh, the game was done.
and he still like slid into Campbell.
No, it was there were like 2 seconds left, but it was like a scramble in front.
Okay, then
and-
yeah, that's understandable then.
But like, he didn't like. He said he pushed him, but like.
There's no pushing. He didn't push him at all.
Like I think he just like fell. Like, he literally.
Maybe a little bit, but it's not enough to like put his knees like up and like goes into him. But I think this you wouldn't see this from the Leafs like 2 years ago, or even last year. You wouldn't see like them fighting back or whatever. But
Yeah, that's what I was
like to
saying.
see.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
adds like more of like a grit, like, oh, you can't touch our star players, you can't touch our goalie, you can't do that, which adds like such like a different experience like from a Leafs fan,
Yeah.
because usually they just sit back like, oh, skill this, skill that, but then they just get pushed around like in the playoffs by Boston, they get pushed around.
Now they're pushing back. They're fighting back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
good
now
to
like
see.
adding Simmons, like it just adds that. Like I think I said this last week again, but it adds like that fact in the room, like, oh, we're all together, we're gonna fight like for each other. So I just think it adds that like little bit, just like
Yeah, you're gonna people are gonna go into the corners knowing if they get hit, something's gonna happen. So like they're not scared to go in those corners and just get destroyed. They know someone's gonna have their back. So it just like your entire hockey team plays better.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
like-
good.
In past years, it'd be like Matthews getting hit. Oh, no one's gonna stand up for him, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he just gets. Teams know that. Like, teams know like, oh, Matthews is not getting protected. Let's just run at him. Like, so now like it adds that factor. Like, oh, watch out, you can't like just run our star players.
And Matthews had his best game yesterday.
Yeah, Matthews I think played really well last night. Had a goal and assist. Same with Marner. Those two seem to be clicking a lot.
I gave
It was
up on
Matthews'
fantasy
best-
hockey.
It was Matthews' best game yesterday. Like he's been
Mhm.
off. Like it is what it is.
Hmm.
Like it's probably his best goal he got yet yesterday too this year.
Yeah, it was such a nice goal. Like he's back. I think that was the first time we actually saw his like shot this year.
Yeah, because like I think like deflections and other things. Like,
They've been like deflections and like he's played really well, like very aggressive this year, but that shot is just like so
have been
nice.
off. Yeah, his shot's been
Mhm.
off, and then they finally got one. So
All right,
I think,
boys.
like,
Oh, sorry, yeah, Torres.
Now seeing it, I think like now seeing the puck go in the net, he's just gonna start shooting more and like go
Yeah,
in.
for sure. All right, speaking about fighting, Conor McGregor, unretired from the UFC, came back, had another fight, and got knocked out.
Busted.
Got
not like-
destroyed.
It was TKO, wasn't it?
DQ, which is technical knockout. So technically, it's still,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, knockout. But yeah,
like he didn't like lose conscious. He just got rocked. Like there was just
he couldn't even walk after. I saw him like leave on crutches.
yeah.
Well,
Justin
I
Poirier.
think because he was walking on crutches because Poirier just like pounded that leg. He like kept kicking.
Yeah,
Smart.
I heard McGregor say like he just kept kicking my leg and eventually had nothing back to like stand up on. Like so like when he like I couldn't even get back up. Like my legs were done. But yeah, so I bought the pay-per-view for this fight and I was watching it. Like I was watching all like the undercards and stuff. Like I'm like, okay, like let's go. McGregor's gonna have a big fight. Like I'm not the biggest UFC fan, but I know McGregor's. I don't really know who Poirier was, but I was
He's like really good now.
yeah, and he won, so now and he beat a big name, so like that's huge for his career. And I know that, yeah,
Poirier's higher in like the ranking. He's like number 2 ranked.
yeah, but I think that was because McGregor
Yeah.
retired though, right? Yeah, I think if McGregor didn't retire, he probably still would have been a little higher than him. But yeah, I was watching the fight, and I was looking forward to it because the bigger fights usually go to around 5, so they have like 5 rounds, and then the first round wasn't like anything like McGregor said.
Looked good. First round looked good for both players. Like both guys, like they both looked like they were getting good hits.
Yeah, and then
It was pretty even
and then
back
you just see
and forth.
Poirier, you just see him constantly kicking McGregor. Like I feel like there weren't any like crazy shots until
They're
Poirier
smart.
hit that one
He
shot.
just he kicked his leg. Like McGregor should like try to take him down.
Yeah, McGregor should have done something earlier instead of just
Like
yeah.
his leg was like he couldn't move, so like he had to like be more vulnerable, and then Poirier just like kept on punching in the face. It was over.
Yeah.
I think McGregor like had him in the first round, like especially when they were tied up. McGregor had those like shoulder hits.
Yeah, those shoulders are insane, bro. He did that against Cowboy the other time, bro.
Yeah,
His
those were good.
it's like he pops his shoulder out and then pops it back in when he makes
And
those
like
hits.
Poirier would try to do the same thing, but it just wasn't.
Yeah,
it
it didn't
wasn't at all. Like McGregor, like you can hear
It's not the
you
same.
just hear the
You're like,
hit. It could,
yeah.
Oh.
And like I think McGregor, like it was pretty even the first round, but McGregor like had more. He kind of like looked better. He was getting those jabs in, but like you said, Cole, like I'm not really that big in like UFC. I'm more of like I watch boxing more, but like I just feel like it was more like a boxing match more than like a UFC. Like there weren't that many like takedowns or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I felt. Yeah.
The standing was like it kind of like gave Poirier like the advantage, like especially how he was like kicking McGregor's leg repeatedly over and over again, and then he just like saw like McGregor like he wasn't 100%, and he just took that and kinda,
Yeah,
like,
and
ran with
I mean
it.
also like Poirier like also is like is an active fighter, so like he like McGregor's been out for like a year. So,
Yeah, that
A
was gonna say
year.
as well.
like
Yeah.
he wants
He has
to
to,
fight.
like, knock off the rest,
He wants to
yeah.
fight soon, so like I'm glad to see next fight. I wonder if it be.
And like I don't know how it is like with fighting, but if you lose like that, like kind of get embarrassed, like after all that hype, you want to get back into it as soon as possible. Just
Yeah,
like,
he's
To get another win under your belt.
especially being out for that long, like you kind of forget like how it is to win, and you just want to get that
yeah,
underneath
he
your belt. Like
knocks
you
out,
said,
he
Cole.
knocks out Cowboy, takes like a year off, and then comes back.
And yeah, so Torres brought boxing. Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao is gonna be happening. I'm excited to see this fight because I've said it. I would if you give me 3 years of training, I'd beat Ryan Garcia up. He's so small, 120 pounds, 5'6" or something. We've talked us three before this podcast has started. I've talked about this a lot. I don't know. I think I want to see this because I feel like Ryan Garcia is going against a real fighter. I know Manny. Sorry, I gotta sneeze. Oh, never mind. Sorry, whatever. But I thought like Manny Pacquiao is a good fighter. I know he's a little bit older, but like I think this is a big fight for Ryan. Ryan's last fight he had, he was getting beat up a little bit, but then he landed that one big punch and that took the other guy out. So I'm looking forward to this fight. I'll put it on my screen. You guys can see it now. But I'm looking forward to this fight. I think this is a big fight. Like I think Ryan Garcia is gonna like solidify his spot in the boxing industry.
Yeah, and like
what other fight, Cole?
What fight?
You know.
Oh, Logan versus Floyd.
we'll talk about that after. We'll talk about that after.
Okay.
We'll talk about this one first because I feel like
This one's a real. This one's
is,
like a
more-
yeah.
This one's like a real like, it's like an actual like one
Yeah.
one. Like,
I
Are
agree.
you saying Logan Paul's not real? Like,
he's had 2 matches against KSI, and then so Ryan Garcia, he said that he idolized Manny Pacquiao like growing up. So like I just think that's like a cool storyline to begin with.
Yeah.
And I saw this like picture. It's like Mr. Miyagi and Daniel LaRusso. That's what it's kind of like, because like
Kind of, yeah.
Pacquiao's double his age, maybe.
Yeah, that's
He's, like,
messed
a lot
up
older
though.
than
That's
Garcia.
kind of messed. I feel like yeah. I don't know. I feel like Garcia, like Pacquiao probably has the edge, but in my opinion, I'd say Garcia has the edge just because he's younger. Like when you're boxing and you just get like hit so many times, like you're like, I don't know. No matter how good in shape you are, like when you get older, you just get slower. Like that's just like how like living works. Like that's how being a human works.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it'll be a really interesting fight. Like Christian, like you just said, like Ryan looked up to him. Like that's like he like
Yeah.
Manny was his idol, and like now he's going to fight his idol. Like that's pretty
And
cool.
they're both actually professional boxers. Like,
Yeah.
not like Logan and
Yeah, they're
Floyd
not
and-
semi-pros or like yeah.
They're not YouTubers.
Yeah,
you
and-
know?
And Cole, you brought up Garcia's last fight, like him getting knocked down for like the first time. I feel like that adds like him. It gives him more confidence.
Yeah,
of,
he's
like,
able to
oh,
battle back.
He was able to, like, everyone counted about. I remember like seeing on like Snapchat or like everyone's stories like, oh, he's already knocked down. Like, what's gonna happen? But then he comes back and like, I think he knocked him. Was it a TKO? It was like a
It was a body
stomach
shot
punch.
or like to the
A body
kidney.
shot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy couldn't even get up. Like, and like you said, younger. He's known for his speed. Like,
Yeah.
his speed's just like insane.
Yeah, like all those
I
Instagram
don't
videos
know.
you see of him and stuff.
I don't know. It's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, it will be.
And
Yeah,
then
Shun, you brought up Logan Paul and Floyd. Did that got postponed, right?
yeah, it
to-
did.
to
Yeah,
later
pretty
date?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it said it was.
Yeah, I want to see that too, because apparently Logan Paul's been training like a lot,
What about
and
the
then obviously.
what about the Jake Paul fight?
Oh yeah, that fight got confirmed as well.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
He's fighting.
Ben
The
Ash.
US
I don't know.
You know who that is, right?
He's not even a boxer though.
You know Masvidal?
Mhm.
He's one like you know how Masvidal had like the fastest knockout, like 5 seconds.
Was that the knee knockout?
Yeah, that's the guy. He's fighting that guy.
Flying him? Oh. Okay, but this is the thing about Jake Paul. He hasn't fought like a real fighter.
He then fought a boxer.
He's coming against his UFC guy. Yeah. He's going against his UFC guy. He's known for his ground game. He's known for his like takedowns, which is not possible in boxing. So it's a
Yeah,
completely different
you
thing.
can't take someone to the
This
ground
guy's to,
boxing.
like completely. Yeah, this guy's to completely change his training, completely train how he like
It's
works
like,
out every day.
Yeah, like his standing game is so bad. Like
Mhm.
and they close like
He's known for having a bad. Yeah. He's
Jake's
known for having
winning.
a bad
Jake's
stance.
gonna win.
You're sleeping on Jake Paul. You're sleeping on Jake Paul. No one says.
You guys are cheering for Jake or not?
I said he's gonna win.
Okay, good, because one guy in our
I
group
think
chat
so.
said he was not gonna win. But I think Dylan.
Oh, Dylan.
I
He
think
said y'all are sleeping on him.
yeah. I think okay, this is my thing with Jake. Jake talks, and sometimes you can't. But Jake talks so much, and I can agree. He hasn't fought the best fighters, but every fight he has fought in, he clearly won. Gib he destroyed. I know he's a YouTuber, so it doesn't really count. But
I
Nate
don't know if he
Rock.
destroyed Gibb though.
Oh, he did. He knocked him out. That was a
No,
TKO.
it was because Gibb's standing.
But
like,
it's still
his
he still
stance
destroyed
is-
him. He still destroyed him.
Yeah,
And
he's
I-
definitely, like,
And like I said, Gibbs a YouTuber and stuff. But then you have Nate Robinson, so I think that's a little bit of an upgrade from Gibb. Just destroyed him. I know he's the NBA player, but like
a basketball started boxing,
It's
and he only trained for 3 months, I think. But he never had a sparring.
Yeah,
match.
I heard that
He never
too.
sparred.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny how he called out everyone except for boxers. Like I don't understand.
But I think he has to do this because boxers aren't like wanting to fight him right now.
Or
Like-
you probably will lose to a boxer.
I don't know. I mean, if what he's saying is true and he had 50 million for Conor McGregor and then that happened to McGregor, I would prefer to watch McGregor beat Jake Paul then.
Yeah, but like, I feel like he should actually
Yeah.
fight a boxer. Like, I think he actually, then he can then prove people wrong.
But I feel like you got to build up your record as well. Like Ryan Garcia, like everybody said the exact same things you're saying about Garcia. He won every single fight. Now he's fighting Manny Pacquiao. Like that's nuts.
I think
Because-
I think Jake
He
Paul. I
definitely
think
has
Jake
to
Paul.
build up his record.
Because I was talking to someone who like knows a little bit more than me and stuff. They're saying I'm like when you start boxing or like fighting, you start like in your club. So this can be like from like 14 years old. Then you keep building your way up. Jake Paul started this at like 22, 21. So he has to build his way up somehow. It's just he's such a big figure already because of all his YouTube and social media.
I think he called McGregor because like he probably got jealous of Logan because he's fighting Floyd, so he wants to fight like someone like he wants to make known also better than Logan. So I think he just tried to like call out McGregor for no reason.
What I think, if I was like if I was a professional boxer and I see Logan Paul, a YouTuber who's only had 2 professional fights against KSI, is going to fight one of the best boxers in boxing history. Yeah. So if I'm a boxer, professional boxer, I'm looking at that. I'm like, like, how's that fair? And then I'd want to go fight Logan.
But and technically, the thing I don't like is this is technically not even a real fight. So even if Floyd loses, it doesn't go against his record. But like, they must be making a ton of money. Like honestly, like okay, if you're fighting a boxer, it's probably gonna be like a better win. Like you actually beat a boxer. But like, if you're fighting Logan, Jake, or like KSI, like any of these massive guys with like crazy social media like influence, you're making so much money.
Like Floyd's definitely making way more money than Logan, but because like Logan has nothing to lose. Like Floyd has like his reputation to lose. Like,
Yeah, but Logan does too. Logan does too. Because if Logan loses 3 times or a tie, I'm gonna count that as a loss. But if Logan loses 3 times in a row, he has to get out of this sport. But like you said, Floyd does have more to lose because he's one of the best ever. And
he's the best fighter.
I don't know. I think Muhammad Ali was really good too, and like even guys like Tyson and stuff.
Floyd's undefeated.
He undefeated, but like they never Okay, yes, but those guys never fought Floyd, so you don't actually know. Just like the MJ versus LeBron debate's so hard because if they ever played against each other, it'd be easily solidified. But they never played against each other.
It's different times too. Like you bring up the Jordan and LeBron. If you had Wayne Gretzky versus Connor McDavid, McDavid's winning that all the time. But it's just different time areas, so like you never know.
Yeah, and like back then, there's less penalties called in hockey. Like they didn't play with helmets. Now everything's like so I don't know. I think it's hard. I think it's really hard to compare that. I think like it's based on wins in my opinion to compare it. Like when I compare like LeBron to MJ, this is a whole nother episode. We can talk about this next episode. But like MJ has more rings, but like he wasn't in the playoffs every single season he played. And
wait, you based it off wins?
I think so, yeah. I think that's how I do
Floyd's 50-0.
Okay, but
Cole, are you like actually are you anyone home, Cole?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like you just
Cole, like
no, but it's a mixture. I don't know. Okay, but like
Cole, you just said wins matter, and he's 50.
And this isn't even a real fight. Floyd's scared to fight a real fight, so this isn't even gonna count as a win.
But
he's old.
I don't think he's scared to fight him. I just think it's like he just thinks there's no point. Why would there be a point to fight Logan Paul?
Whatever.
Out of anybody.
Man,
He doesn't watch YouTube. He doesn't know who Logan Paul is.
He definitely knows who Logan Paul is. There's no way he'd be fighting.
Cool. Your argument said it wins matter, and he's literally 50-0.
Okay, sure, whatever.
If he cool. No, Andrew, cool. Like if he's 50-0 and wins matter, like how is he not the best?
Because I think there's other really good fighters too. I think there's other really good fighters too.
Yeah, but wins. You said wins matter. You said wins. You think that's how you answer it. Like,
okay, you're gonna tell me Muhammad Ali hasn't won a lot of fights?
Floyd's 50-0. No one else is 50-0.
Good.
But like we said, it's like the time. You can't compare the time.
Cole, and then Cole said wins matter, so then if wins matter, then Floyd's best.
Cole, I think Cole said he's one of the best in history, but I don't know if you can crown him the best.
It's hard. Okay, and let me say it's hard to compare who's better in boxing if they don't fight. Because it's different. Stats don't matter as much in boxing. Wins do in boxing. I'll say that. But in basketball, like LeBron, his stats are better than Jordan's. But Jordan's, it was the 6-for-6. Because it's more of a team sport, so you can pass, you can get assists, you can get rebounds. In boxing, you don't get judged for how many punches you throw. You get judged for winning. So it's a little bit different. But in basketball and football, best quarterback, best receiver, best running back, best point guard, best NBA player. Like, it's different because stats matter in that like type of.
Yeah.
But in boxing, it's do you win or do you lose? So it's a little different, I feel.
Like you look at this. Like say McGregor had like more hits, more everything. That doesn't matter.
But he still loses.
Like,
because that was the Logan KSI fight. Like, Logan had way better hit percentage. He hit more of his punches he thrown, but he still lost. So Logan's the loser in the end of the day. But Tuna, I know what you're saying. I should have rephrased it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's your fault, but it's yeah.
Good. All right, guys. So I think we're around towards the end of the podcast. We talked about all the football stuff. We talked about some boxing. We talked about the trades that are going to happen. A little bit about the Leafs and NHL, what's going on there. I feel like with NHL, it's for me, it's not as interesting because we're just like, it's just like the beginning of the season and there's so many games going on. I'll watch I'll watch every single playoff hockey. Like, there's not, like we were saying, like hopefully there's going to be built up a rivalry where like in the Canadian division where like everyone's watching it, but I feel like it's just not there yet. Football is almost done, 2 weeks till the Super Bowl. Brady versus Mahomes, GOAT versus Little GOAT. Stafford might be leaving. He is leaving. Deshaun, we don't know yet. Rodgers, I think it was a good thing to talk about because like he has got screwed. Like, they don't go for on 4th down. Then they choose. He'll stay, but then they choose to get Jordan Love over like getting him another weapon. And then I don't know. I think it's something cool to talk about. Then Mcgregor losing, that was big because like when I like started to like start watch like UFC and like boxing, like when I got older and like actually like cared more for it, McGregor was like the big guy, like the big name, like he was the talker.
He's like the brand that he made the UFC.
Yeah, for sure. Then the boxing, Garcia versus Pacquiao, I can't wait to watch that. Paul versus Mayweather, can't wait to watch that. I think that'll be.
Whatever his name is.
I think I'll say Logan versus Mayweather would be a cool fight to watch just because Logan like is bigger than him. Like, he's taller, he weighs more, where like Mayweather's a little smaller. So like let's see if size really matters in fights or if it's the size of the heart in the fighter, whatever that expression is. I think this was a really good podcast. We had Dante, like we said, our first guest. He was here for the football segment. But yeah, I think it was a really good podcast. I think it's like getting better. We're posting weekly every Wednesday, it seems like. I'm really happy. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think this week was like really good, especially having Dante on. Like, it just adds like another like opinion.
Yeah, perspective. Yeah.
And
a little biased opinion, but it's a good opinion.
Yeah, and I think next week there's no football, right?
No. So what we're gonna have to start doing is we're gonna have to start talking about the draft and stuff because that's gonna not really come up, but like as soon as the Super Bowl is over for football, you go straight to the draft. The combine happens, but I don't even think the combine's happening this year because of Corona. But it goes straight to the draft, and it's like all the reports go out like the first day.
Yeah, and we kind of like already talked about it a little bit, like literally nothing, but like a little bit. Like the GOAT talk, like Michael versus LeBron. We could talk about that next week.
We could do a whole like GOAT like episode, like Wayne Gretzky versus Crosby versus
yeah, and like we said in our first podcast, like especially next week, we're gonna have lots of time to talk about things. So if you have anything, just drop something in the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll talk about it, make it a whole segment, and pretty good week. See you guys next week, I guess.
All right, thanks so much for watching. Cully, Taurus, Chun, thank you so much to Dante for coming on the podcast. See you guys next Wednesday. See you guys.
All right, see ya.
Boys.